Welcome back to another Foxy Games UK news video. If you like this sort of thing, like, subscribe, hit notification. Let's get into some game news. Our first news story courtesy of PlayStationUniverse.com, link in the description. PlayStation 6 and the new Xbox will cost at least $600 according to analysts. Well, of course, you've got the PS5 Pro coming up, which far exceeds that price, although it is not being marketed as a loss-leading product. I believe Sony are selling that at cost, or they're getting a little profit on it. Now, industry analysts have weighed in on the possible cost of PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox console, believing Sony and Microsoft's next wave of consoles will retail for at least $600. In a recent interview, Matt Piscatella and Reese Elliott of Circana and Media Research, respectively, touched on the changing prices for consoles, with PS5 Pro costing a whopping $699, $700, and Xbox Series X's Galaxy Black Edition setting consumers back $600 with no discernible hardware upgrade at all. Now, Piscatella believes that the rising prices for hardware are partly due to, when looking specifically at the US, the market being mature, which means the audience isn't growing as much and spending remains static. So yeah, meaning in order for hardware spending to grow, higher pricing will likely have to be part of the equation, explained Piscatella. And the long story short, yes, I'm expecting prices on the new console hardware to continue to increase. We've now seen that previously, a bit of radioactive following the PlayStation 3's pricing announcement way back then. But the $600 threshold reached or broken by both PlayStation and Xbox, so I certainly won't be surprised if we see that again. Meanwhile, Elliott said that he expects the PlayStation 6 and Xbox next generation consoles to retail at $600 at least, adding PlayStation is clearly testing waters with its PS5 Pro pricing, and a PS5 Pro bundled with Grand Theft Auto 6 would work even better. Sony releasing special branded PS4 Pros for first-party games like Spider-Man and the third-party ones, Monster Hunter, so we can expect a similar strategy for the PS5 Pro. The PS5 Pro is scheduled for release on November 7, 2024, while PlayStation 6, despite not being announced yet, is believed to be deep in development, with backwards compatibility being a major component. Also, there are two system-on-chip designs for Sony's whatever next gen, which I believe, as I've mentioned in previous videos, one is for the PlayStation 6, the other is for some type of handheld device, some lower powered handheld. This console is a mid-generation console. It is not the start of a new generation where Sony has to worry about, getting an install base going pretty quickly, meaning they'd have to take a loss on each console sold. PlayStation 5 Pro is one of those mid-gen systems where Sony can release it pretty much at whatever price they like. If you don't buy it, you don't buy it. It's not going to affect their main seller, which is the standard PS5, because people will just gravitate to that system. In fact, it might make that system even more attractive in a price comparison. So it might even work in Sony's favor that people buy more PS5s and PS5 Pros, but it won't stop the hardware getting enhancements because it is now factored in, meaning that they have to submit their game as PS5 Pro in order to get the label, and that label will help sell games. Believe me, having the most powerful console on the market at present, or most stable, if you like, and graphically higher quality version of the game can't do any wrong for Sony sales there. So yeah, there you have it. PS5 Pro. Yeah, we know about the price, release date and specs now, don't we? Of course we do, and we're going to get a lot of these Unreal Engine 5 games running poorly on PS5, much better on PS5 Pro due to the extra boost in GPU power, which in turn takes a lot of pressure off of the CPU, and particularly when games are GPU reliant, less CPU intensive. Now, initially you can only pre-order PlayStation 5 Pro on September 26 directly from PlayStation website, PlayStation Direct website, with all other major retailers such as Best Buy and Amazon kicking off their PS5 pre-orders and promotions on October 10th, 2024. So depending on where you want to buy this thing, you'll either get it, you pre-order in earlier with Sony Direct, or you can wait for your favorite retailer. Not that you should have a favorite retailer. Now, in terms of the overall CPU power, PS5 Pro CPU is actually identical to the standard PS5, with the exception that the PS5 Pro boasts a high CPU frequency mode, which effectively takes the CPU to 3.85 GHz and provides a 10% increase in CPU performance over the standard PS5 console. So this really is what is previously rumored for PS5 Pro CPU specs, what they were going to be, a modest increase in CPU power, which will help for those games that are hovering in the mid 50s frame rates. And you got the GPU, PS5 Pro GPU, much more powerful. When it comes to PS5 Pro GPU, Sony is seemingly keen to provide a substantial upgrade over the AMD RDNA 2 GPU used in the current PS5 console, boasting 60 compute units, and it's got a 2.23 GHz clock. Now we know that the console itself, in terms of the original PS5, is just 10.18 T-flops, whereas the PS5 Pro is a whopping 33 T-flops. So that's definitely going to help with the ray tracing side of things, shadow lighting and everything else. Then you got the PSSR PS5 Pro image upscaling, which we've already gone into detail. That makes the clarity of the image far superior, which makes it more important than the actual resolution base image, because resolution and clarity are two different things. Obviously, resolution provides clarity, but image quality is what really counts, and that's what developers are going for, even on PCs. Then you've got the PS5 Pro accelerated ray tracing, which will allow far more detailed drawing, improving frame rates and everything else, improving texture resolution as well. You should get far more ray trace global illumination and reflections with the PS5 Pro, where it was possible on PS5, and they do a pretty damn good job considering the limitations. But you're going to see that massively improved on PS5 Pro, and people have been talking about PS5 Pro outputting at 8K resolution. This is a joke, surely? Well, no. PS5 Pro can absolutely enable 8K resolution games. Whether we'll get them or not is another story, but there's no reason why a Minecraft or an indie title or a AA title that isn't graphically intensive couldn't, get an 8K resolution. It might even be 4K using PSSR to upscale it up to 8K, but honestly, once you're hitting 4K and upscaling from there, how discernible is 8K going to be? But we don't know. But we certainly know that it is capable. Doesn't come with a optical disc drive, and that thing is sold out everywhere. I have one. I managed to get one. It's waiting for my PS5 Pro, but I've seen it sold out everywhere now. Amazon, none. There are people on eBay basically scalping the thing. So yeah, there's that. But in terms of everything else, I mean, we're getting ready. We're getting closer to PS5 Pro. I literally still not happy about the price, let's be honest, but I see this thing for what it is, and I've seen enough now with Digital Foundry and the whole Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. If it can do that to Rebirth, then imagine what it can do for Star Wars Outlaws, or games like Stellar Blade and Black Myth Wukong. So that's what I'm looking forward to. If it can do that, and the differences are discernible, and I'm certainly looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6 running on this baby, and it also upscales by brute force and boosts frame rates of the standard PS4 and standard PS5, and even PS4 Pro games will get a boost. I'm not trying to sell this thing to you. You stick with PS5, the standard one, if you want to, but you got to weigh up the options. What are you getting for the price? If you got a swanky new OLED 4K TV, do you really want to see the graphics improved? Do you want that slight boost in frame rate where it drops here and there? For me, the answer is yes. But it has to be said, I do find it remarkable that those naysayers who are bemoaning of the price of the PS5 Pro, complaining it's $700, well, I've noticed a lot of them have seen the 30th anniversary version, which looks like the PlayStation 1 design, and now they're suddenly a big fan of PS5 Pro. They want that. They're happy to spend $1,000 on that. But the regular standard PS5 Pro, which basically does the same thing, I mean, the literal only difference is the covers on this thing, which someone could make and put on the standard PS5 Pro. So it doesn't do better enhanced ray tracing over the standard PS5 Pro, doesn't have a better CPU. It's exactly the same thing, and they're happy to buy it. They're happy to want that. Welcome to the internet, everybody. But that's the end of the video. Like, subscribe, as I say, hit notification. Get ready for this coming Thursday, September 26th, when PS5 Pro pre-orders will go live on PlayStation Direct Store. Nice and early now. Don't miss the bus. Until next time, play games, not corporations.